Welcome back to the channel, friends. Hopefully you're doing well. So this is going to be a sovereign citizen in court video. With that said, I found this on a page called Courtroom Alice. If you guys are familiar with Logan on Law, I believe they might be the same channel owner, whatever. Their voices have the same cadence. They have the same way of breaking in with their little circle in the middle. I think they're both AI channels, but I'll leave the link for this in the description so you guys can be the judge for yourself. This is going to be a sovereign citizen that went to, oh my lord, I already cut it out. I think it's Magistrate Chisholm, I don't, however you pronounce it. Anywho, that's what courtroom it's in. And this is one of the few times, and it's happening more as of late, but this is one of the few times where the magistrate, the judge, just gives it back to the sovereign citizen. Instead of just saying, like, okay, repeating the same thing over and over again, he just goes off on him. And this needs to start happening more because sovereign citizens in court, it's a waste of everyone's time. The judge's time, the prosecutor's time, and the taxpayer dollars simply to have the sovereign citizen play a game in court when they could just be held in contempt and we could all be at home laughing. So enjoy the video.
This is 25-00183, People of the City of Berkeley versus Kamash Daku Myrick.
Magistrate, I'm just going to acknowledge my presence for the record. Patrick Agnick. I'm here as appointed counsel on behalf of the arraignment docket this morning. I did speak to Mr. Myrick in private. I did explain to him he does have the right to counsel. I explained to him, obviously, that right. He's indicated to me unequivocally that he does not want counsel. Mr. Myrick, is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
So with that said, I'm here and present, but with that, I believe Mr. Myrick will address the court on his own behalf.
Mr. Myrick, you have the right to decline counsel. You also have the right to change your mind. If you do, just notify the court.
Yes, sir.
You've been charged in this citation that was issued on the 22nd day of January at about 5:58 in the morning with driving in the city of Berkeley on Henley near Franklin Street while your license to do so was suspended. Driving on a suspended license is a crime for which you could be incarcerated up to 93 days and or fined $500. You have a right to a trial. Trial can be before a judge or a jury. You can act as your own attorney or you can be represented by counsel. If you cannot afford to retain your own attorney, an attorney can be appointed for you. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You'd have the right to testify yourself or not to testify. In the event that you choose not to testify, your silence cannot be used against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
No, sir. I don't even understand the charges here.
The charge is driving a car on the streets of the city of Berkeley while you're not licensed. You're suspended. That's the allegation.
Well, I totally understand, and I would love to plead, Your Honor. But before I have some questions on the record before moving forward and concerning the subject matter of the jurisdiction and the nature and cause of the action that's brought against me.
And just like that, he wasted no time jumping right to the sovereign citizen script. And if you're a judge, magistrate, prosecutor, whatever, and you hear him hit those magic words of, I would love to make a plea today, but you just have to ask answer some questions for me first. You're probably thinking, easy day, he wants to know if these charges come with points, how much these tickets are going to cost if he pleads guilty. No. He's going to rattle off like a handful of the dumbest, most legally nonsensical arguments you've ever heard. And in this case, it's, I believe it was suspended license. I believe they said it a few minutes ago. Very easy. Hey, DMV, was this license suspended on this day? Yeah, okay, I guess he's guilty. You can't talk your way out of it. You can't, oh, I was actually going 30 in a 30, not 45 in a 30, and here's my proof. No, it was a yay or nay, was your license suspended or not? Pretty simple stuff.
The nature of the cause brought against you is a criminal charge.
Okay.
Alleging that you were operating a motor vehicle on the streets of the city of Berkeley while your driver's license was suspended by the Michigan Secretary of State. That is the nature of the charges brought against you.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, are you saying that these are criminal charges?
Yeah.
Okay, Your Honor. Further, that brings a little bit more confusion for me, because under the Constitution, there are two criminal jurisdictions. One is under the common law, and the other one is under admiralty, and that's a military tribunal venue. And under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, which one of these criminal jurisdictions am I being brought on charges under?
Mr. Myrick, your perception as to the nature of the Constitution and its implications is grossly distorted. You're not dealing with reality.
Objection, Your Honor.
You can object all day long, but the bottom line is that what you are alleged with doing is a crime, and you are facing criminal prosecution here with a potential jail sentence of 93 days. Now, this isn't complicated. If you want to come up with words that don't make sense, keep talking. But the bottom line is that there's no correlation with what's going on here and admiralty law whatsoever.
So guys, this is going to be a long one, so bear with me, but we're going to talk about admiralty law. Shocker. So, as you guys know, as of late, my favorite legal resource is the Cornell Law School Legal Information Institute. Seems pretty solid, so I looked up what is admiralty law. So we've got admiralty law, or maritime law, refers to a body of law relating to seas and navigatable bodies of water. Doesn't seem to talk about a roadway where somebody's driving on a suspended license. Admiralty law extends to incidents that occur on the oceans, lakes, rivers, canals, and wetlands. However, admiralty law does not extend to bodies of water that you can't do anything on and aren't used for interstate commerce, such as creeks, ponds, or streams. Admiralty law covers, among other activities, maritime commerce, navigation on bodies of water, towage, maritime liens, piracy, recreational boating, hiring of officers and crew, and insuring of naval vessels. None of those things have anything to do, again, with driving on a roadway with a suspended license.
And the common law is a civil concept. We have statutes in the state of Michigan, as do all 50 of the states. The federal courts have statutes, and common law is a civil thing. There's no common law crimes.
Exactly. So you ruled out the common law, Your Honor. So the other criminal jurisdiction that I can be brought in charges under is under admiralty, and that is a military tribunal.
There is no basis in law or fact for the conclusion that you stated, sir.
Your Honor, you
need
said
a
that
lawyer.
I'm under a criminal. This is a criminal charge, correct?
Yeah.
So which of the two criminal jurisdictions?
You haven't heard what I've said, sir. This is not a matter of having the two choices that you have spoken to.
Wow.
You are misreading the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the state of Michigan, and the statutes that are brought against you here. There's nothing to do with admiralty. You weren't in a boat.
Well, Your Honor, you two have a sworn oath of office, correct?
I am sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the state of Michigan, and the statutes related thereto. And that means that I'm not going to.
So you do have a Sixth Amendment obligation to inform me of what jurisdiction.
And I think I have done that. I have told you that the people of the city of Berkeley have brought charges against you.
So this is just going to be another thing that sovereign citizens get confused. They get lost in the sauce, if you will. So they can inform you of jurisdiction, but they can't bring whatever jurisdiction this is under. They can't bring that jurisdiction into the courtroom and just whack you over the head with it until you understand. They can inform you all they want, but if you're not smart enough to understand, that's why you need to get an attorney. And why you shouldn't walk into a courtroom trying to debate the judge when the judge isn't there to debate. He's just there to tell you the law.
Well, Your Honor, the people is not a person. If I'm being brought up under criminal charges, there needs to be a corpus delicti, which there isn't.
All right, so because I enjoy doing this to sovereign citizens, we're going to go, again, to Cornell Law School Legal Information Institute. It's a great resource. You should use it. Corpus delicti. It translates to the body of the crime, not an actual body. So it basically was created to prevent the government from punishing people who confessed to crimes when there was no evidence or anything that they actually committed the crime. But in modern practice, corpus delicti requires the government to have enough evidence showing that essential parts of the crime occurred before they can actually charge a person. In this case, in general, corpus delicti just means evidence. Evidence of the crime. And in this one, hey, you got pulled over for some fuck shit. Let me see your license. Oh, my name's Steve Stevenson. You run Steve Stevenson through the DMV and damn, Steve Stevenson has a suspended license. That's evidence enough. Like, I'm not an attorney, but that seems pretty cut and dry. But this guy, again, sovereign citizen, means he got hit in the head really hard as a kid and just never recovered.
So I'm asking you.
Do you know any other legal words? Why don't you just mix and match them here?
Well, this
Maybe
is,
you could get a Department of Labor form and read a couple lines of that into this record too. Or maybe you'd like to deal with the probate code. But the reality, sir, is that you've been charged with a city ordinance violation. It's clear what the ordinance says. It's clear what you've been charged with. You have a right to be presumed innocent, and you have a right to a trial. We're going to set this for pre-trial before the trial. You'll be notified by mail. Do you still live on Mendota?
I do, but I have
What
not.
is your phone number?
I'm not issued a plea, Your Honor.
I have entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
I object.
What is your phone number,
You cannot
sir?
enter a plea. I do not. I have not entered a plea.
I just did.
Your Honor.
What is your phone number?
There is no plea that you can enter in because I didn't voluntarily enter in the plea, Your Honor. I'm asking you, Your Honor.
You want me to enter a plea of guilty?
Under the two jurisdictions that
There's not two jurisdictions.
There's
I don't
only
know how
two
you've been misled
that I
to
can be
believe
charged
that
under,
there are.
under the Constitution,
No, that's
Your Honor.
Mr. Myrick. That's what your conclusion that there's only two jurisdictions here is absolutely without merit.
Your Honor, you said that this is a criminal charge. I'm asking you, Your Honor.
I'm asking you what your phone number is. Let's get down to basics here. You're making this very hard on yourself.
Your Honor, I
What's
have
your
the
phone
right
number?
to assert my right, Your Honor. And
What
I am
is your
asking
phone
you,
number?
Your Honor?
What is your phone number?
My phone number, Your Honor, is.
Yes, I'd like to know it.
Your Honor, we haven't even established what jurisdiction we're in.
We have, I have established that. I told you it's the people of the city of Berkeley that brought the charges against you.
Your Honor,
you said that three times now.
You stated on the record that these were criminal charges, Your Honor. I need to have an understanding. By the Constitution, Your Honor, there are only two criminal charges.
Where does the Constitution say you have to have an understanding?
Say again, Your Honor?
Where does the Constitution say you have to have an understanding?
By the Sixth Amendment, Your Honor. The
Sixth Amendment says you have to understand. The Sixth Amendment can't make you understand if you're being unreasonable.
All right, so we haven't used this thought experiment in quite some time. It's the, let's take this logic, let's take this thought to the most ridiculous to see if it still makes sense. Let's say he's accused of murder and not a suspended license. And he just never pleads. Not a standing mute, not a not guilty, not a guilty. He just never pleads. Therefore, the case cannot move forward. Therefore, whenever he dies in 80 years, the case just goes away. That's not how the legal system works. Like, what would be the point if the defendant could just say, well, I'm not going to enter a plea, therefore, I guess I'm free to go. That's not how the legal system works.
But, Your Honor, I have the right to understand what jurisdiction that I'm being brought under, and you have an obligation to inform me of that jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Which I have done about 17
by
times.
The Constitution, under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, Your Honor.
Mr. Myrick, your bond is $1,000 cash or surety. It must be paid within 48 hours or there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest.
Your Honor.
That's done. We're through. Good luck.
Your Honor.
Get your own lawyer.
Your Honor, you have not given me a jurisdiction, Your Honor.
I've given you a jurisdiction 4 times. I'm not going to waste any more time.
So the magistrate at the end just simply wasn't playing games and just hung up. I don't know if they booted him out of Zoom, whatever. He just hung up. You can only tell someone, like I said before, you can only tell someone, you can only inform them so many times. It is up to them to understand, and if they're incapable of understanding, maybe that's why you should get an attorney. Instead of playing nonsensical legal games in court. Hopefully the sovereign citizen gets what he deserves, which is the worst. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know I did. I'll leave the link to the original video or where I found the video in the description. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.